Like don't use Martin Luther King against Joe Biden. You don't have that. You don't have that standing.
First of all,
I'm
Hillary,
sorry, you don't.
Don't tell me what kind of standing I have as a black woman in America. How dare you?
During a discussion on CNN, Joe Biden's surrogate Hillary Rosen attempted to lecture Nina Turner on MLK. This video is wild. And I'm also going to show you afterwards Bernie's response to this, as well as the actual MLK quote, just so we're clear, and also how this applies to Joe Biden. But first, watch this video.
Well, it shouldn't scare people. I mean, it's very much in the tradition of President FDR. It's in the same spirit. It's in the spirit of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who in his letter to the Birmingham jail warned us being the black community, about white moderates.
You know, Nina referenced Dr. Martin Luther King before, saying that he said from the Birmingham jail that we should be concerned about white moderates. That's actually not what Martin Luther King said. What he said is we should be worried about the silence of white moderates.
Are you kidding me?
Nina, wait.
No, she's making a language point.
What he said was we should worry about the silence of white moderates. And what we have in Joe Biden is a man who is not silent. He has a long record, and many votes that in today's world feel like the wrong thing were the wrong thing, and he has discussed that over and over again.
Chris, what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about, he said it is the point that the white moderate wants things to be comfortable, and instead of focusing in on that, the bigger threat is not necessarily the white KKK member, but more the white moderate that is more comfortable with keeping things the same or pretending like there is no tension.
Don't use Martin Luther King against Joe Biden. You don't have that. You don't have that standing.
First of all,
I'm sorry, you don't.
Don't tell me what kind of standing I have as a black woman in America. How dare you?
You have a lot of standing as a black woman in America. You don't have the standing to attack Joe Biden using Martin Luther King's words.
I didn't attack anybody. You're taking it that way. Listen, don't dip into what I have to say about the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. How dare you, as a white woman, sit up here and try to tell me, try to tell me how I'm supposed to feel and what I'm doing right now.
I'm out of time on this.
That's something wrong. Chris, I didn't jump in on her, Nina, though. And then she wants to jump in on me and give me a certain
nobody's jumping in on anybody. You guys are in the same party. This is what you guys have to figure out.
All right. This is wild. Wild. So not only is Hillary Rosen 100% wrong, as I'm going to show you, Cuomo here, what is he doing? Like, as Nina said, she let Hillary Rosen speak, and then when Nina Turner starts speaking, Hillary jumps in. And the idea that she's telling Nina Turner she doesn't have the standing to talk about what Martin Luther King meant. Are you out of your damn mind? Now, before I get to the actual quote, just to be 100% clear here on who's actually correct, even though I think it's already obvious, but let me show you, Sanders responded to this on Twitter just recently. A viewer pointed this out, saying Joe Biden must accept responsibility for his surrogate telling our campaign co-chair, Senator Nina Turner, that she doesn't have the standing to invoke the words of Dr. King. That is unacceptable, and Joe must apologize to Nina and all the people of color supporting our campaign. Finally, the Bernie Sanders campaign comes out and fights back. This has been constant. People like Nina Turner, people like Bree Joy have been thrown under the bus the entire campaign by surrogates of other candidates. Finally, the campaign is reacting here and responding to this bullshit. Now, let me show you the actual quote. So, as Val tweets out here, no, he said, quote, the white moderate who constantly says, quote, I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action, who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom. Don't you dare try to tone police a black woman. So let me just read the actual, just so we are 100% clear here. This is Martin Luther King. I must confess that over the past few years, I've been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I've almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling, I can barely read this, it's so small, great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate. The white moderate who constantly says, I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action. Who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom. The white moderate who constantly advises the Negro to wait for a more convenient season. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. This is directly referencing a kind of figure like Joe Biden. The white moderate is Joe Biden. 100%. Nina Turner is correct here, obviously. Now, let me show you one more tweet here. This is from Nomiki Konst. It says Joe Biden does have a long record. So this is how it relates to Joe Biden. Joe Biden does have a long record, as my pal Hillary Rosen says, in being the architect of the crime bill, supporting the welfare reform bill, discriminatory housing and credit laws, being for the same charter schools as the NAACP is against. That's profit first Biden. Shall I continue? So it is just absolutely disgusting that the way Hillary Rosen treated Nina Turner on here, but it's also gross that Chris Cuomo didn't jump in when she was butting in over Nina Turner speaking. Or, I mean, also it would have been nice if he had the facts with him. If maybe he had a producer that could have looked this up during the conversation and gave him the information on air, that also would have been nice. But you know what? These billion-dollar media companies, I guess they don't have the resources to. It's unbelievable how actual facts are treated as put on equal footing as complete bullshit on cable news. They never look at these issues objectively. They never actually look at them from the factual perspective when it comes to the Democratic Party. Now, when it comes to Republicans, yeah, they're a little better. Cable news is a little better when it comes to CNN, MSNBC at critiquing Republicans and what they're doing. But when it comes to assessing the Democratic Party, cable news will always side with the corporate wing of the Democratic Party. They will always side with the bullshit over facts, because the bullshit is what has allowed them to flourish, has allowed their wealth to amass, has given them the power. So they will never actually challenge the corporate wing of the Democratic Party because it actually just benefits them. And why are they going to change a system that they benefit from?